already know. Where have you been? Well, it's time to spill the tea about what's been going on with me. This is the cutie girl theme song. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Okay, on a serious note, it's mother flipping April 2021, and y'all haven't seen me since, well, y'all saw me on my birthday, but where have I been? What's been going on? I'm gonna try to make this quick. Let me put on a timer, just so this video isn't hella long. I'm gonna try to do 15 minutes. Basically, what's been going on with me, I've been in a very, very uncomfortable, growing pain, transitional season of my life. And I wanna say I started feeling this way towards the end of last year. So it just felt like back to back to back things were happening. It's been a battle mentally because I've just been trying to like get myself together. So let me break it down. The end of last year, I got COVID, right? And I praise God because it was not as, critical as some people. Thank God. It was like a very mild case of COVID. I don't know how the hell it happened. I was trying to figure it out and just going down a rabbit hole trying to figure that out and process it. But basically, long story short, my symptoms, I don't get sick. I don't get colds often. You already know that like I'm very health oriented for the most part. I try to keep like everything natural when it comes to like what I eat, take, whatever. So ever since everything started with COVID, I've been making sure like my immune system, my family's immune system was like up to par. Taking shots of lemon juice, lime juice, with ginger, cinnamon, cayenne, all of that, right? Every day. So I think that's what helped me fight it and like help my body respond to it so well, compared to other people. So I don't get colds often, even before, like just in general, I don't get colds like that. If I get a cold, it's like once a year, right? So when I started feeling this way with COVID, I just like, usually when I get a cold, I'm like, I feel like a little tinge in my throat or whatever, like as if I'm about to start getting a sore throat. So what I'll do is I'll just nip it in the bud. And that's the secret, by the way, if you didn't know, like as soon as you start feeling a little off, take a shot of lemon juice, lime juice, apple cider vinegar. Cayenne is really good for kicking it out. Ginger, oh, and honey. I add honey to it too. I'll take a shot of that for as long as like I need to daily, just for it to get out of my system. But if I do that, especially before I go to bed at night, it knocks it out. So I started feeling that way, right? And I took the shot. Next day or so, I was still feeling it, like a little tinge or whatever. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like a real cold this time, right? Because you haven't had one. All right, cool. So, I want to say this, like the symptoms lasted for a span of like 3 to 5 days, right? So initially I didn't know that it was like COVID, so I'm thinking I had a cold. And then like probably 2 days later, my taste buds were a little off, but literally like, no, okay. So I started feeling the tinge. My nose was kind of runny. So I was like, okay, it's like a mild cold, whatever. Then because like my nose was kind of runny, I couldn't really smell, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever, cold. And then probably like the next day, my taste buds were off. But it was like, when people say your taste buds are off, it's not like, oh, like you can't taste nothing. It's like you don't recognize your, like whatever food you're eating. It's like very bland, but you can still, like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's very weird. So I didn't like attribute it to being COVID at first, because I'm like, what the hell? But when like my taste was off and my sense of smell was off, like I was like sniffing my essential oils and stuff, and I'm like, let me just go get tested. I go get tested. They did a rapid, and that was my first time getting tested, and it came back positive. Immediately started crying because I'm just like thinking about my family. Obviously I had the kids or whatever. It was not a good time. Thank God the kids got tested. They weren't positive or whatever. Nobody else was positive. I stayed to myself, quarantined and stuff for the 2 weeks. That was like towards the end of the year, so I had to spend New Year's alone. I wasn't able to go to Puda's birthday party, my nephew's birthday party. So it was like a really like weird time. I was like praying. I'm just like, God, like what, like why right now? Like I don't understand. But I do think that he was also trying to get me to rest because I had been going. I've had the kids since March of last year, so it was just like, okay, rest, right? All right, so that happened. January comes. My birthday was great. Y'all saw the vlog for that. Okay, cool. I feel like things started getting heightened emotionally and like in the state that I was in around February. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know in February I started I did a detox, and I did not do a damn review on this detox because it was a lot going on. So I was doing a detox, and it's a herbal detox that you drink 2 teas daily, and it was very intense for me. Like the symptoms of like how you detox or whatever comes out in different ways for different people. For me, it was like very, very emotional. So I guess I was detoxing my emotions. Don't freaking know. But when I tell you, like, I was on an emotional roller coaster, I was feeling very, very, very like bad, down and out. Like it was just really, really intense. And that's kind of my fault because I've never done a detox like this before, and I could have just did the 14-day, and I did 28. And I tried to carry it through that entire 28 days. I probably did like 26 because I just couldn't take it anymore. And my sister's birthday was coming, so I was just like, not doing this. And I noticed that it was like it had to be the detox. Even with my cycle that month, it was like really, really heightened even more. I usually get like, you know, kind of emotional when my cycle is coming. Or I'll cry the day of, but I was feeling so depressed that cycle, and I'm just like, yo, I can't do this detox, like I can't. So yeah, that alone in February, that made February very, very intense for me. I'm debating on if I wanted to like highlight this, but I think it's important. So around this time, towards the end of last year, also I was you know, talking to someone, and me mentioning this is not to like, you know, talk bad about him or anything. It's literally just for self-reflection. So, talking to him, blah, blah, blah. And the thing about me when it comes to my growth as a person, a lot of that has come as a result of what I've experienced in my relationships, in my past relationships. So dealing with all of this and knowing what I've been through in my past relationships, I'm very in tune with like my spirit, and I'll check in with God on offer it. Like, God, what's this? What we doing? Is this who I should be talking to? Blah, 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 blah. Right? So I did that from jump when me and this man started talking. And I heard God say, yeah, don't do it. Don't talk to this person. This is not who I have for you. And I just want to make it clear, when that is the case, if you do go to God about, you know, who you should be involving yourself with, him telling you that the person is not for you does not mean that that's necessarily a bad person. 9 times out of 10, it'll have nothing to do with their characteristics or whether or not they're a bad person in general. It just means they're not right for you. They're not what he has for you. And I've grown to really get peace from that because it literally has nothing to do with the other person. Like, it has nothing to do with, it's not a shot towards you, is what I'm trying to say. So, I really grew to like care about this person, and I was like happy talking to them and all of these things, and I was just like, okay, God, all right, I'm stop. Did not stop. And one thing led to another, and we continued talking. And then there were like certain things that I was able to realize that I wasn't okay with, that were just personally red flags for me and what I like and what I'm willing to deal with, whatever, right? I started noticing these things, and because I've dealt with what I've dealt with in my past relationships, I feel like you're able to recognize red flags quickly, and that's the beauty in learning lessons in that way, because it's like, you know what you will tolerate, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, so it's easier for you to decipher, like, okay, is this the right situation for me, right? It was hard to break it off and stop talking to him, because I've grown to, you know, care about him and like him, and I enjoy talking to him, and we had like great chemistry, always laughing, these types of things. But in my heart, I knew, I'm like, I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to lead myself on and stay in something that I know that God already told me not to be in, right? And then I'm also very weary and scared when it comes to stuff like that, because it's just like, you never know what God is trying to protect you both from, and I just don't want to stand in the way of that person's blessings and my blessings. So that was a really tough thing that I had to go through and deal with, and I had to break things off, because yeah, like, I don't know. And for him, it wasn't easy to let me go, but at the end of the day, I know I'm the type of person where it's just like, I know I'm always gonna be okay, because I always bounce back, because I believe in God, and God has always come through for me. So it's like, that used to hinder me separating myself from something that I knew I shouldn't be in, because I would always be concerned about the other person's feelings and the other person, like how they're going to get through this, and are they going to be able to make it through this pain and hurt. And this situation allowed me to see how strong I've become and how much I've grown, because it was easier this time around for me to separate myself, because I was like, yo, you're a piece, like, yes, you care about this person, yes, this is something that you wish that you could stay in, but this is what God is telling you to do. You have to remove yourself. And at the end of the day, you're not going to ever have peace of mind continuing this on, because of the fact that you know that God already told you to remove yourself, right? So I had peace with separating myself because of that, and I was just like, okay, this is not the easiest thing to do, but I'd rather do it now than it's like years down the line, God forbid something bad happens, and then it's just like a type of, oh, God told you so, right? So when it comes to stuff like that, you just have to be prayerful, keep the other person in prayer. It's literally not to hurt them, especially when you know in your heart that it's not meant to be. And yeah, there was a lot of repenting I had to do in terms of that, because I felt really bad, and that like added to the emotional intensity that I was going through, especially in February, because I just like, I had to really come to terms with like not only forgiving myself, but just in that I was able to see like how gracious God is and how quick he is to forgive despite all the things that we put ourselves through. You know what I mean? Like he tells you what not to do, and I still decided to do it, and he still forgave me, because that's just how good he is. So like that was very, very eye-opening for me too, because I've never, like, in my past, when it came down to doing stuff like that, or if I messed up before, I remember shying away from God, because I was just so embarrassed about what I did. But this time I knew to go to him, and I knew to confide in him quicker than I ever have in this circumstance. And it just, that really, really, that spoke volumes for me, because he doesn't have to forgive us. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, oh, I don't want to cry. It was very, yeah. So that was that. Oh man, I only got 29 seconds left. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick. It's only one more part. So that happened, and then after that, it's like the month of March, I was going through learning how to be more vocal about my feelings. And that was very, very, very hard for me, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm the type of person where it's like, it's either white or black. I'm not gonna say things more than once. I kind of expect people to read my mind, which is horrible. I've been working on that. So it's just like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll just put stuff off. And yeah, that's just how I am. Because I don't like confrontation. I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for my, like, piece to be off. Like, I don't like that stuff. And I've never had to deal with that stuff. And it's just like, God has blessed me with people in my life who in my mind just have common sense. So it's just like, I've never had to deal with situations where I have to tell people about themselves or tell them what I didn't like or anything of that sort. March was completely different. There were multiple occurrences that happened in my life with people that I love and care about that I had to express how I felt about something that I feel like they could have done differently, or things that weren't making me happy, or things that I needed from them. And it caused me to be very, very vulnerable, and I didn't like that. And it was very uncomfortable because I've never had to really do it in that capacity. But I feel like that month was like God saying, I need you to learn to be okay with expressing yourself in this way. Like, I need you to be vocal. Because at the end of the day, if things are making you upset about how somebody's moving or what they're doing, they have no idea. They have no idea because you haven't shared it with them. So you need to share it with them because you're only hurting yourself instead of thinking that they'll figure it out eventually. And then at the end of the day, what usually ends up happening is you're holding on to resentment that they know nothing about. And it's hurting you, not hurting them. So I was dealing with that in March, and it was very uncomfortable, like I said, because I'm just like, God, like, it was like situations like back to back to back to back to back, like with people that I'm close with. And I'm just like, like, what is this? So all of these things were just like very, very, very close together, on top of me feeling burnt out just because I was like, I had been watching my niece and my nephew for like a year, right? So it was just like, I was just on go, right? And I didn't really take time to rest. Also, business-wise, I was like going through it. I was very like unmotivated during this time to create anything. I was still trying to push through. I wasn't feeling inspired. I'm still working through that now, but it's like I'm in a better place. Hence why you see me in this hotel. I spent this week, if y'all saw the vlog, if it's up before this, I spent a week in this hotel because I just needed to regroup. I needed time alone. I needed time to like really reconnect with God and get realigned. So that's what's been going on with me. This was very needed. I'm very proud of myself. I'm proud of what I've gone through so far this year. It's taught me to give myself grace. It's taught me that I don't have everything together, and that's okay, because I am not God and God is God, and I am an extension of Him. So as long as I'm an extension of Him, I will always be okay. It's caused me to grow closer to Him, and I'm always grateful for that. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. I'm claiming that the rest of this year will be abundant, prosperous, full of divine strategy. There will be less doubt about what I can accomplish, what I can do. Just more confidence all around, more fortitude. So that's what's been going on. I haven't been neglecting you guys on purpose, but I think moving forward, I've also been like rebranding a lot, so it's like I've been trying to figure that out too. So it's like I'm getting all that together. That's that. I hope this helped and gave anybody who's watching this encouragement at least a little tiny bit. Appreciate you for watching this video, even though some of y'all might just be watching to be nosy, which is fine, because look, at the end of the day, I don't know, that's your business. Like, I don't know, but for the most part, I hope this encouraged at least one of you. And that's it. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow me on all socials.